Are you wanting to have more confidence in like anything you're not as familiar with? Well, today I'm going to share a perspective on how you can start developing more confidence in different areas in your life. I'm going to talk about this today. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point that's really going to help you feel more confident in loads and loads of things as well. I remember having an unreal struggle when I started a job. There's many times when I really was like, I I didn't trust myself, which is what confidence is. I didn't like myself, which is what self-esteem is, and I was just really down. And I remember in 2018, I went through a really tough period. Now I've had tough periods in the last couple of years, believe me, as well. But I remember, however, I had the tools to equip myself to sort of ramp up my confidence and self-esteem. And I remember in 2018 when I hadn't gone through this journey of personal growth on working my self-esteem and confidence. And I was like in a job, I'd been in a previous job. I got quite confident, familiar with it. I felt pretty good. Then I came into a new job and I felt awful. I felt worthless. I just found it really, really hard, even though I was really excited about joining it. And then I managed over a year or so to kind of build up the confidence, which actually I thought took a while, and looking back on it. And from actually studying that and events in both in the personal and professional capacity in my life, I've started to identify what I've been able to do to increase my confidence quicker and have more confidence in things in life. And that's what I want to share with you today. So for me, like, confidence often comes through competence, and competence comes through practicing and being prepared. Right, I'll say that again. So confidence for me comes from competence, being able to get very good. There's other things as well, but that's a key one. And that comes from being prepared and organized, right? So if we're able to get more organized, being able to prepared, when I've been prepared for things, that's when I felt a lot more confident in anything I could go into, right? And you might think, well, the result might not end up how I want to, even if I go prepared. And I'm going to go on to that in a minute. I want to ask you this, though. How does it help you going into not being able to have confidence until you've done something for such a long period of time? Well, if you're anything like me, it's really frustrating, really exhausting. So therefore, that's why I wanted to create this episode for you, because I was there as well. So let's go through a few of these. I've got 3 main points because I want to keep it quite simple today on how you can be more confident in anything and more quickly. So the first one, you've got to know your outcome. You've got to know where you want to go, right? If you're like, well, I just don't feel very confident in life. I don't know. First of all, I don't know what that means, right? When someone says, I'm not confident, I'm like, in what? What do you mean specifically, right? So you've got to be clear on what you mean, right? Because this sounds silly, but you could be confident, driving a car. You could be confident doing your shoelaces, but maybe you started a new job and you're not that confident in it. Yet you like generalize, like, I have no confidence in anything. That doesn't make any sense. Confidence is specific. So first of all, you've got to know your outcome. What is it exactly you want to build your confidence in, and identify that. The second point, focus on what you can do. And that's all you got to do, right? Focus on what you can do, right? Okay. And if you want to make it more exciting for yourself, give yourself a reward every time you do what you say you're going to do. And also, you can use an accountability partner like I do, and I check off everything I've done each day. Your confidence is going to build through your trust, and your trust will be lost if you don't say what you're going to do to yourself. Now and then something may come up, of course, but if you're consistently not doing what you say you're going to do, that's going to lose trust. And it's most important, you've got to do what you said for yourself, right? If you kept saying that a friend, you were going to do something and you didn't show up, or you didn't do it for them, they'd lose trust in you. Well, the same is with yourself. So make sure you do what you say you're going to do. And then the third one, look at how you can prepare. How can you really be prepared for things? It's like, if you're like nervous about a meeting, you've got to go in and give a report, like, how can you prepare for that as much as possible, right? I've got some like difficult conversations coming up in the coming weeks with various situations. I make sure I prepare for them in advance, and that builds my confidence, because I can't control the outcome at the end of it. So that's the third one. Look at how you can prepare. And in a moment, I'm going to dive into my bonus point as well. And my bonus point's a very simple yet effective one. And that's this. Keep reminding yourself of all the things that you have overcome, right? And how did you do it? Why were you confident in certain areas? What did you do to overcome them? And keep reminding yourself again and again and again. A good exercise, like I've shared before, but I'll share it with you, is for a week, for 5 minutes a day, is write down all the things you've achieved in the day or previously in your life, because what that does is get your brain searching for all the great things about you and what you've done in your life. Right? People say, and by the way, people on this exercise say, well, I did it a couple of times. That's not enough. You've got to do this consistently. Do it consistently for at least a week and notice the impact. The biggest problem, like a habit is something you do ideally every day, or at least like 5 times a week. If you're doing something like now and then, that does not build a lasting change. So make sure when you've got a habit in that you do it consistently, right? And that's what I'm going to suggest with that exercise. Don't do it for 6 days, do it for 7 days. 5 minutes a day, write down everything you've overcome and how you build confidence, because then that starts training your mind that you do have the confidence. So that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you're in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.